Good day, everyone. Today, we are looking at how to use the second method, which is solution by completing the square to solve quadratic equation. Yesterday, we discussed about using method of factorization to solve quadratic equation. So, with the example that we have today, which is solve the equation 2x squared minus 3x minus 1 is equals to 0. Let's try to use that method as a way of revising ourselves and see if it will work. So we said that when you have quadratic equation like 2x squared minus 3x minus 1 is equals to 0, all that you have to do is that you compare it to the general quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c, which is equals to 0. So here, when you compare, my a is 2, my b is negative 3, and my c is negative 1. And we said that with the method of factorization, the first thing that you have to do is that you multiply the a by the c. So my a is 2 multiplying the c, which is negative 1. So 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2. Now we have to find the factors of negative 2. That when we sum, we're supposed to get negative 3. That is the coefficient of x. Since the coefficient of x is negative 3, we're supposed to get negative 3. Then we can continue with our method of factorization. So let's try to see the factors of negative 2, which is negative 1 and then positive 2. 1 and negative 2. Now we have to add the pairs. 1 plus 2 give me positive 1, and then 1 minus 2 give me negative 1. None is equals to negative 3. So meaning we cannot use that method, which is method of factorization. So let's look at the second method, which is solution by completing the square, and see if that one will work. So with regard to this method, when you have equation in this form, all that you have to do is that you make sure that yes, you can just, this one is negative 1, the constancy is negative 1, inverse will be positive 1, meaning that we have sent that one to the right hand side. So positive inverse is negative inverse will be positive. So meaning, which we normally say that when we send the negative 1 to the right hand side, the answer will be positive. So positive 1 is there. Again, we have to make sure that the coefficient of x squared, is 1. But what do we see per the question is 2. So what do we do to make sure that it will be 1? It's 2. So don't forget the inverse of the 2 is multiplying the x squared. So inverse of multiplication is division. So we have to divide both sides by 2. So here 2 divided by 2 will give me 1. So 1 times x squared will give me x squared. Minus, don't forget here is negative 3x all divided by the 2. And then this side is 1. That one to divide by 2. Meaning that we have divided both sides by 2. Both sides by 2. So after dividing both sides by 2, we now have x squared minus 3x divided by 2 is equals to 1 out of 2. Now our focus will be on the coefficient of x. Now coefficient of x is negative 3 out of 2. Negative 3 out of 2, which is here. Negative 3 out of 2. Negative 3 out of 2. So after identifying our our coefficient of x, which with respect to this is negative 3 out of 2, we multiply it by half, or less 1/2. That is we multiply it by 1 out of 2. And when we do, it's going to be negative 3 times 1 will give me negative 3. 2 times 2 give me 4. So the product, which is the final answer, will be negative 3 divided by 2. Negative 3 divided by 4. Negative 3 divided by 4. So after having our answer, which this one is negative 3 divided by 4, all that we have to do is that we have to square our answer. So we bring the bracket and then we square all the answer, which we have negative 3 out of 4, all squared, meaning we have squared our product, which happen to be the answer for negative 3 out of 2 times 1 out of 2. So we have squared the answer. Now we move on to the next step, which we are to add this answer, which is negative 3 out of 4 all squared, to both sides of the equation. We are to add it to the left side as well as the right hand side. So if we see that at first, at here we only have this, but here we have added our result, which is negative 3 out of 4 all squared, to the left hand side. Now to the right hand side, at first we were having 1 out of 2, but here we have added negative 3 out of 4 all squared to 8. So after we have added our negative 3 out of 4 all squared to both sides, now we have to, let's not forget that what we have here is now a perfect square. So look at this. Here we have power 2, this side too we have power 2. So we can bring them together, and when we do, we are having x minus 3 out of 4 all squared. Now all squared, something is happening here which is so interesting. When we expand this, we will get back that. We get back that. Is so interesting. So just like when we are asked to expand this, all that we have to do is that we can just simply put that this, whatever is in the bracket, is repeating itself 2 times, and when you do the multiplication, you get back this result. And then as well as when we are to expand in quick method, these two will take the square, which is here, and then these two will multiply the x as well as the negative 3 out of 4, which when we do, we are going to get 2 times x multiplied by negative 3 out of 4 will give me negative 6x divided by 4, and then since 2 can cancel, 2 will cancel the 6 giving me 3, 2 will cancel the 4 giving me 2, so we are getting back. And then the last steps, we square the last term, which of course is here. So this that we have seen here, x minus 3 out of 4 all squared, is equals to that. Now to the right hand side, the square is affecting the numerator as well as the denominator. So 3 square, negative 3 square will give me 9, and then 4 square will give me 16. 4 square will give me 16. So when we add 1 out of 2 plus 9 divided by 16, that one will give us 17 out of 16. Now we are at this point, 17 out of 16. So we are interested in getting the values of x. So what we do, we square root both sides, so that the square root will cancel the square here. Now don't forget that there will be plus or minus. Now the square root will be affecting all this fraction, 17 out of 16. The square root will be affecting them. Now, at this point, the square root is affecting both the numerator as well as the denominator. Now, square root of 16 will give me irrational number, but square root of 16 will give me rational, which is 4. So that is the 4 we are observing here. So in other words, it's going to be square root of 17 divided by 4. We still maintain the left hand side. Now at this point, don't forget that here is negative. So inverse will be negative, inverse will be positive. Plus square root of 17 will give me 4.123, all divided by the 4, which is the denominator. Now this is the positive side. Don't forget the plus or minus means we have the positive as well as the negative side. So we have looked at the first part is taking care of the positive side. Now then the second part will also take care of the negative side. So here we have 3 divided by 4 minus 4.123 all divided by 4, which of course when we do the calculation we are getting x to be 1.78 or minus 0.28. So this is all about the solution by completing the square. This one is a little bit technical, so let's take our time and go through, and I believe that we'll get it. Let's keep learning. Thank you.